Hey everyone, Rob with Overland Gear Guy and Stephanie here. We thought we'd do just a quick Q&A section, just talking about all the custom stuff we do and some of the products that have multiple uses and stuff like that. So um, Stephanie does 100% of the custom stuff, so she'll probably take the lead on a lot of this stuff. But we're going to show you some examples of stuff that people have drawn up, and if we see what product you have and got the dimensions and things like that, then it just makes it so much easier to to make those items. So
And to make sure that it's what you want so
yeah,
that you don't get it and it's a little bit off. Like a lot of times people will send us the dimensions of the actual product. That's great, but it can't be an exact fit for it. So you need to account for the additional, space that you need to be able to put it in there, as well as, seams and stuff like that.
right. So what's your first example there?
So one of the got quite a few things here. So this guy has a chair that he wanted to carry. So he asked for a bag for that. And he sent us, the width, the height, and the depth of all of that, as well as he drew where he wants the name tag, where he wants the handles, things like that. Because those are little things that a lot of people don't think all the way through. And then we put the handle where we think it should be, and that's not how their vehicle is set up or something. And so then the handle's on the end, they want it on the top, or they have things stacked on it, so they want the logo and the name on the front, not on the top. So having those extra little details really does make a difference, and it makes it easier for us and make sure that you get what you want.
Right, and we'll insert these photos of the drawings to kind of give you an idea when it comes to the custom stuff.
This person needed a shoe bag. He wants to just be able to clip it onto his stuff. So he just drew up a shoe bag and, angles and dimensions and things like that. And we're actually still working on that one. So we haven't even gotten to a lot of the questions that come across usually as we're going through. But for now, that's where we're at on this one. This guy said, "Can you make a bag for my chainsaw?"
Oh
So
yes, we've made a couple of those actually.
yeah, we have. He had to get real detailed on the dimensions, but not difficult. Just, hey, I need this part this long, this part this long, because there's so many facets to a chainsaw bag. Exactly where he wanted the handle, things like that. And so we get requests for all kinds of different things. This person has a leaf that for their table, and they needed a bag to carry that because they don't want it just clanging around in the vehicle and stuff like that. So they needed something to store that in.
Is that like for a van or?
I actually don't even know. I assume it's for a van, but
Yeah.
I don't even know what specific vehicle it was for. That was for the table. Actually, I got a request yesterday. He wanted our visor, but he doesn't want it to have any ability to be lower than what it should be without the visor on it. Or thicker, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So he said, "Can you just leave off the pocket on the top? Just put the mirror." And then he said he doesn't want the pen loops on the end, the elastic loops on the end. So he said, just leave that off. Again, easy to do. Just let us know. Rather than starting from scratch, he looked at something we already had and said, just modify it a little bit, because you don't have to start from scratch every time. So it was a simple little fix.
That happens a lot. That people will start talking. So it's like, okay, look at these two different products, and then we can kind of modify from there instead of totally starting over from scratch. But
yeah, for sure. This guy has our tailgate bag, but he actually wanted to screw it in with grommets just right into the tailgate. And he had a little bit different setup, and I think that's why he wanted to do it. So he just designed up and just put holes in where he wants them, and that was all we needed to know where to put all the grommets and things like that in it. These guys are amazing. They've ordered quite a few things from us for all kinds of different things, and he needed something to keep his popcorn maker in. So he designed up a bag, gave me all the dimensions, the handle, how he wanted it, the name tag, and everything like that, and then just had us make up a bag to hold his popcorn maker in.
necessities of the Overland.
I mean, but otherwise it's just kind of rolling around, so you might as well put it all in a bag, and it's labeled. He could just grab it and take it, anything like that.
Actually, I had a custom one a couple weeks ago. A guy had, I don't know, it was a very large coffee pot. It stood about that tall and about that big around or so, and we made up a case for that stuff. So it's just a lot of custom stuff that we do.
And it really isn't that hard as long as you just give us those 3 dimensions and where you want things on it. These drawings, like some of them are amazing, some of them are just literally a cube, a square, and that's all it really needs to be. This guy had a metal detector, and he just wanted a nice padded case for it, so he sent us drawing, handle, logo, all that kind of stuff, where he wanted the zipper, because we can do a zipper down the center of things, we can do a zipper around the outside, anything like that. So that also does make a difference, because some people don't want to have a zipper down the center because it's something big that they have to try to feed in through both sides. So they want a 3-sided zipper, so it opens the whole flap up. So those are important things for us to know, to make it a bag that you like.
Something that just popped up into my mind is there's a lot of drawer systems out there, and I've made a lot of bags for my diabolical drawer system and stuff like that. But there's many different ones and stuff, and even the diabolical ones. Sometimes they have dividers going one way, and then they other people want it the other way. So it's very difficult to make a set of bags for that. But if you take a picture of your drawer system, give me the measurements and stuff, then we can make bags to fit all your gear, your recovery gear, your safety gear, food, anything like that you want to put in there. So
yeah, you can say I want 3 bags for this spot and 2 bags for this spot.
Right.
Just tell us how big you want each one of those bags, because that's the other thing. If you just give us the outside dimensions of the drawer or whatever it is, and say I need 3 bags for it, well, we could make 3 long bags, 3 tall bags, 3 3 big bags this way. Like there's so many options, so we do need to know those things, because otherwise it's going to be a lot of back and forth, or it's going to get frustrating for both sides, because you have a vision that we aren't getting across to, or it's not getting across to us because we're not seeing exactly what you're saying. So yeah, it's telling those things are helpful. This is a new project that we're working on. This guy has a van, and he has a dog that he would like to make like a little crate for, with a little bit of storage on top. And when he sent me the email, I was not following at all, which that happens a lot. Like just words are really not enough to portray what we're trying to do here. So I asked him to send me a drawing, and he sure did. He sent me one of the best drawings ever. This guy went all out with all kinds of different dimensions and everything like that. Exactly where he wants the Velcro sewn, exactly where he wants the mesh, and where he wants the hard plastic and things like that. And once I saw these drawings, it suddenly took what I thought was an impossible project to understand, even let alone make, to, oh, that's doable. Now we know what we're working with. So those things are super helpful, especially if it's anything that's a little more intricate than just our regular bags or anything like that. This guy has a window panel, or it's like a metal thing on his window panel, and he wanted us to make one of our soft Velcro things so he could attach pockets to it. And just measuring it wasn't, or just to getting a measurement of the actual dimensions of it wasn't enough. So we needed to get a little more detailed. So he sent out exact millimeters of where.
And we like inches. We don't really like
fair. Yeah.
But,
I mean,
we can deal with it.
We can convert it, but usually it's inches, because we are hand cutting these. We are hand sewing these. We don't even get close to something like a 3/8 of an inch. That's just silly. There's no way that we can do that. This isn't a CNC machine. This isn't laser cutting. It's all with a hand, and it's all sewn by hand. So I mean, we will do our best to get as close as we can, but typically we say 1/2 inch is about as small as we're going to get on measurements and things like that. And then, hello, Coda. This is the office dog.
Yeah, Coda wants to.
He wants to have attention. Let's see here. I had a guy who had he had a big Rotopax on the back of his rig, and he wanted to have a cover for it.
This is for the water.
The
water container, not the fuel.
Yeah. And so he just, brought the vehicle in. We kind of measured around it and stuff like that. And everybody has different attachment points on their vehicle. They have different options. So seeing it, where you're applying these things is also super helpful, because then we looked at it and said, oh, we can just put a clip here, we can put a clip here, but then he has the same one, it's not going to work the same way on his. He doesn't have those same things. So also seeing where you're doing these things is helpful to designing.
And the reason we came up with this product is it's water in there, and it's getting wintertime, so you're gonna have a big block of ice there. So we put Havelock wool in this cover, and I've already got the results back. It was a significant amount of temperature change with and without the cover on there. So
yeah, it was nice of him to take the little thermometer and scan it all up. So
he did gave that back to me.
This gentleman actually came in. He owns an airplane.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not any storage places in there at all. There's not a place to put his water. There's not a place to put his checklist, iPad, phone, everything. Yeah. So he, again, he brought it in and he was telling me about it, and it just doesn't compute until we see a visual. So I said, could you draw just a simple sketch? And he did. He just drew, an angled platform with a spot where he wants the iPad, how deep he wants that pocket, how tall, how wide. And we had that thing made up in no time, because it was straightforward, and he went and tried it out, and it worked perfectly on there. He also had us do one for his radio and his phone and his checklist. It was super simple. Once he drew it out, we had it all ready to go, and he went and tried that out, and it worked out good too. So I mean, those things really make a difference.
Yeah. A couple products that, well, I mean, there's actually most of the products that we have in here have multiple uses and stuff like that. But this was just laying back here on the table, and this is a bag for the tow hitch for the Grenadier or any of the other ones. But that goes in there. And then one day somebody wanted a propane bag, and we make singles and doubles and
six pack
and a 6-pack, but we never done a 3. Well, okay, there's only 2 in there, but this holds 3. So just because there's a certain name or description on the website for a product doesn't mean that there's just not literally hundreds of other uses and stuff like that. It's like the Coleman oven pouch.
Perfectly fits a Starlink.
That fits the Starlink Mini just perfect and stuff. So, we have that on there.
We have quite a few products that, and we don't even know half the uses for them because we haven't came across it. But when someone asks for a custom thing, it's like, we actually have one really close to that. One of the drills actually fits perfectly in our 8-inch overhead bag.
Right.
So I mean, it's all just looking at what we have, but also don't necessarily pay attention to the name, because it can be used for so many things.
This is our Grenadier under seat bag. It's got the clear top. We have them, this solid material and stuff like that, in different shapes and stuff. But it's not just for underneath the Grenadier seat. I have these all over the place in my van, in the Grenadier, and not just under the seat, because I like seeing what's in there. I don't want to unzip everyone. If I got tons of miscellaneous stuff in here, I want to be able to look and say, oh, there's
you have some in your house too.
I do. Yeah, exactly.
And we had a guy at the show. He came and he bought he had a I think it was a trauma bag or something like that he had a specific size for, and he came and measured these. He said they'd fit perfectly, so he bought all 9 of the passenger side, which just because that was the one that fit there. And even though it was for under seat, he used it for a totally different bag because the dimensions fit perfectly. So that's the biggest thing, is don't pigeonhole yourself into thinking, oh, this seat organizer is called this, so it will only fit on that vehicle. Definitely not.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And most of our seat organizers, like all of the shorter ones, those fit on any car,
any vehicle.
It doesn't even have to be, none of this has to be off-road. None of this has to be overlanding, anything like that.
We've put them on just regular passenger cars. We put them on side-by-sides.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Things like that. The longer ones, it's what, 31? 29 inches. Those may be a little long for some of the smaller vehicles and stuff, but they're great for the pickups, for the vans, things like that. So
even the Grenadier can fit, even though it can fit the shorter ones or the tall ones. So I mean, your vehicle totally could. Headrest trash bags, I gave my mother-in-law one of those, because it's like she always just had a Walmart bag. It's like, well, no, even though you have a car and you have nothing to do with overlanding, Doesn't mean you can't use the products. They're still
100%.
great. We take one of the laundry bags when we go on vacation. We go on a cruise, anything like that. It's like hang it up in the closet, throw all the clothes in there, and then we're good to go. We don't have to go home with everything dirty and clean in one bag.
Yeah, for sure. So this will be the kind of the first episode like this. We'll do some more. So certainly put your comments in the comment section there, and we'll address those maybe on the next one. So
Yep.
thanks for joining in.